Well, hello everyone. Thank you so much for joining here. And I'm just going to start the Google Cloud Platform fundamentals. Most of the people you just wait for the last few weeks for this session for the particular workshop, and I'm just going to start this workshop. And I just hope this workshop will definitely help you for your career, and definitely you can learn most of the best thing about the Google Cloud. So I'm just telling you all the core things or the basic things related to the Google Cloud Platform, and you can easily learn and you can easily understand which technology or which tools you can use by the help of the Google Cloud Platform. So the basic topic we are covering, we will tell about the next slide. So let me introduce myself. Myself, now I'm going to discuss about myself. I'm currently working as a map analyst for the Google Maps. I'm also a keynote speaker at GDG. In this workshop, I'm just going to introduce you Google Cloud Platform. Well, everyone knows what is the GCP. As well, GCP offer the main four kinds of services, which is compute, storage, big data, and machine learning. This workshop focused mostly the first two to together to the topic of the networking. After all, you can't use resources in the cloud without the cloud networking. The cloud is a great home for your application and your data, because using it free from for the overhead course, and the Google Cloud gives you a reasonably priced access in the same planet scale for the infrastructure, or you can easily run with the your individual things. And Google's definitely help you for the particular when you just join the Google Cloud Platform. Google provide you $300 credits, so you can learn, or you can use you can demonstrate all the things. So what exactly the Google Cloud Platform, how it is organized, and what make it unique? In this module you will orient you to the all the basics. So let's talk about the what is the agenda of the this workshop. So the complete agenda is, when we are going to talking about the introduction of Google Cloud Platform, then we are going to talk about the getting started and Google Cloud Platform, virtual machines in the cloud, storage in the cloud, containers, applications, developing, deploying, and monitoring your applications in the cloud, big data, and machine learning. These all things will be covering in this complete workshop. So what we will cover in today's session? So we are going to cover today's session just fundamental things, just an introduction and getting started about the GCP, the Google Cloud Platform resources, and all about the hierarchies. And we are talking about, we'll definitely discuss about the IAM, which is the Identity Access Management, interaction with the Google Cloud Platform, marketplace, virtual private cloud, compute engine, and important of the virtual cloud. And lastly, we are going to cover the storage in the cloud. So in this session, we will definitely going to all the things related to the this session. So now we are talking about what is Google Cloud Platform. Well, everyone is talking about, they exactly know that the Google Cloud Platform is a service or something like that. So we are talking what is exactly computing. We are not the Google Cloud Platform, but what is a cloud computing? So now I'm just going to discuss. Here you can see the images of the particular on-demand self-service, board network, resource pooling, rapid elasticity, and major service in the cloud on the everybody lives in these days. What exactly does it mean? Turns out the single clear definition, the US National Institution of Standard Technology created it. Although there is nothing US specific about it, here it is a cloud computing is a way of using infrastructure. That is the five equally important traits. The first, we are talking about the cloud computing resources on demand and self-service. All you have to do is a use simple interface, and you to go processing power, storage, and network. You need with the no need of human intervention. Second, you can access these resources over the net from everywhere. Third is provider, that those resources has a big pool of them and allocate them to the customer out of the pool. So that allocate the provider, get a economic on this particular scalable which you are going to buy or bulk in the process of a saving on the customers. The customer don't have know about they don't care about exact physical location or their resources. The fourth things we are talking about, the resource and elastic resources are elastics. If you need the more resources, you can get more rapidly. If you need a less, you can scale back. And lastly, the customer can pay only what they want, and they reserve particularly things. If they stop using resource, they stop paying. That's the definition of the cloud. Because when we are in the current scenario, we are looking about, there are the lots of things which is related to the cloud, just like a Google and iCloud and AWS. So we can see that there are different things, which is the storage, which can provide all the things about the cloud, and they are providing the cloud storage. So nextly, what we are going to talk about, how did you get here and where we are going. So in this model, we are going to, but why the model is compelling the nowadays? To understand why, we need to look at the some history. The first wave of the trend that brought us towards the cloud computing has collation, which IT shops have been doing for decades. Instead of building costly capital investment for the data centers, they can rent space and share the facilities. That frees up the capital for the flexible use and real estate. In the first decade of 2000s, IT department need the more efficiency drove them to use visualizations. The component of the virtualized data center match the part of a physical data center. So server, disk, and so on. But there are virtual devices separately manageable and from the underlying hardware. So virtualization lets all use to resource the more efficiently, and just like a collocation. It 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 just like a when we're talking about it, just more flexible too. With the virtualization, will still buy house and maintain the infrastructure, so you can still so you can still in the business and guessing the more about your hardware things, and you can talk about your all infrastructure cost. So setting it up very keeping running. And after 10 years, when we're talking about the 10 years ago, the Google realized that its business could not move fast enough within the convention of the virtualization model. So the Google switched to the container based architecture. So when we are talking about the architecture on the container, when we will talk about the containers and we will talk about the Kubernetes. So architecture is automatic, elastic, and third wave cloud build the automatic services. Will explain exactly what containers later in this workshop. The Google internal cloud service automatically provisions, and the all related to the particular things and infrastructure that used to run familiar to Google applications. Google has spent billions of dollars for the building these kind of platform and making a resilient and efficient. Today, the Google Cloud platform makes it available to all kind of customers, because there are lots of customers, and there are lots of individual person who really want to use the Google Cloud platform. So we are going to talk about the every company, just like a company base. So every company is a data company. We all know there are lots of company, and just taking a name from the big giant right now, just like a Zomato, Swiggy, and such like a Amazon. When we're talking about the Flipkart, and also there are lots of company which have a data, because Google believes that they're the future of every company regardless the size of or industry. We will differentiate itself from the its competitor through the technology, largely in the form of software, great software centered on data. Thus every company will become a data company if it is already one. Now the Google provides a wide variety of services for managing and getting value from data and doing the at the particular scaling. So now we are going to talk about a GCP computing architecture, the Google Cloud Platform Computing Architecture, and we will discuss what is the basic fundamental of the computing architecture of GCP. So here you can see the diagram, and I will just discuss about the what the particular things is going through the particular process. So virtualized data center throughout the infrastructure as a service. When I am talking about the IaaS, this is the IaaS, which is the infrastructure as a service, and the platform as a service, which is the PaaS. And the PaaS offering, IaaS offering to provide the raw compute, storage, and the network organized in a way of familiar from the data centers. So PaaS offering, on the other hand, bind the application code. You can write the library that give you access to of infrastructure of your application need. That way you can just focus on your application logic. In the IaaS model, you pay that the you what you allocate. In the PaaS model, you can pay what you use. So here the two different things. The IaaS is basically allocate for the what you allocate, and the PaaS is basically used for the what you pay for the particular use. So both show that beat old way to you brought the everything in advance based on lots of risky forecasting. As the cloud computing has in evolved, and a momentum for the shifted towards the managed infrastructure and managed services. So GCP offers many services in which you need to worry about any resources. So provisioning at all, we will discuss many things in this workshop. They are easy to build into your application, and you pay per use. By the way, now I have mentioned the PaaS and IaaS, so you might have asking yourself about the SaaS. The and of course the Google's popular application is search, Gmail, documents, Drive, and software as a service applications. So SaaS is basically the we are providing the services. So and these service applications, in that they are consumed directly over the internet by the end of user. So GSeed is outside the scope of the particular workshop, and although I hope you like it the all process. So GCP computer architecture meet you where? So we are talking about the compute engine, Kubernetes, app engine, the cloud function, and managed services. So lots of things where you can learn all these things through the Google Cloud Platform. So now I'm just going to talk about the Google network. So this is a very widely things which we have to understand about the networking of the Google and the Google Cloud Platform. So here the a diagram where the networks of billions of kilometers for the fiber cables and 8 or subsets cable. So according to the some estimates out there publicly. So Google network carries as much as 40% of the world's internet traffic every day, because because we are totally using dependent about the Google's services, such like a Gmail. Then we're talking about the Google search, and now we are talking about the YouTube. So these things will be connected to the whole world, and it is the capture the world's 40% internet traffic every day. So Google network is the largest of its kinds of earth, and the company has invested billions of dollars over the years to build it. It is designed to give your user the highest possible throughput and the lowest possible latencies for the applications. The network interconnects at the more than 90 internal exchange and more than 100 points of presence worldwide. When the internet user send the traffic to the Google resources, the Google respond to the user request from the edge of the network location that will be provide the lowest latency. So the basic example of the particular thing, when we search something about on the Google search engine, and we hit the enter button, in the few seconds, in the few nanoseconds, we got the some millions of results at a particular time. So this is a low latency of the searching. So Google's edge catching the network site and the content close to end user to minimize the latency. So it is the basic structure of the network of the Google Cloud. So now we are going to talk about a Google Cloud Platform regions and zone, and we are talking about the region wise and zone wise, where we can learn how the GCP work at the particular regions and particular zones. So here the Google Cloud Platform organized into the regions, and they're the US, Europe, and Europe West. such these are zones. So here the GCP is organized. Let's start the finest grain level. In the zone shown here, the on the right, a zone on the deployment area of the Google Cloud Platform resources. For example, when you launch a virtual machine in GCP using the compute engine, when we will which we'll discuss later, it runs a zone you specifically. So although people thinks a zone is being like a GCP data center, that's not strictly accurate. People think of a zone to being a to because of a zone does not always correspond in a single physical building. So you can still virtualize the zone that way. Through the zone are grouped into the regions independent the geographical areas, and you can choose what regions and of your GCP resources is available at your area. So all zones within region have the fast network connectivity among them. Location with the regions usually have the round trip network latencies of under 5 milliseconds. So think of a zone either of a single failure domain with a reason. As a part of building the fault tolerant application, you can spread their resources across the multiple zone in a region. So that helps to protect against the unexpected failure, and you can run resources in different regions too. Lots of GCP customers do that both to bring their application closer to the user around the world, and the all and also to protect the against the losses of the entire region. So stay due to natural disaster when we're talking about the some disaster happening on the natural way or some casual and casualties. So a few Google platform services support the placing resources in what will we call the multi-region. For example, a Google Cloud Storage, which we'll discuss later, and let's place the data within the Europe multi-region, and that means it is stored the redundantly in the least two geographical location separately. So at least the 160 kilometer with Europe, and as of this time, the videos production of the GCP have GCP had 15 regions. So and you can easily check the cloud the google.com and see you can that tell about. I'm just going to show what is kind of things. Here you can see simple things about the cloud computing. And when we're talking about the which kind of what I'm talking about, the leading company that which is trusted by the Google Cloud, and these companies are trusted for they are using the Google Cloud platform, and this is the our reasons. So when we're talking about the reason basis, so here you can check all the things about the things. So now I'm just moving to the slides. So now I'm just going to talk about the Google offers the customer talking about the pricing of the basic GCP. So the Google was the first major cloud provider to deliver per second billing for TS infrastructure as service, where the compute offering and the Google Cloud Compute Engine. The fine grain billing is a big cost saving for the workload that are bursty, which is the lots of them. Many of the best known GCP servers built by the seconds, including compute engines and a Kubernetes engine, and you will learn about them with and others in the course. Compute engine offer the automatically applied to sustains and discount will be talking about the all the pricing things, which we are talking about the some pricing about the 25% in a per month, or automatically you will give the when we am just going to demonstrate for the how you will create a project on Google Cloud platform, then we will discuss later. So I'm just talking about the billing as a sub hour increment, discount by sustained user, and discount to committed use, and discount the premutable use, where the custom virtual machine instance types. So these things will be providing the according to your use and according to the particular allocations.